Hello, everybody. This is the headrest that I done earlier. But before I get started, if you don't mind liking, subscribing, give a thumbs up. This is actually a little bit of a learning video right here. The headrest that I done earlier today, I messed up on it. A bunch of people wouldn't know it. Some might catch it, some might not catch it. But you can see right here, after I put it all on, I took and cut it back off and redone it. One reason is because I made a mistake. You know, in this type of business right here, when you make a mistake, you got to fix it right then. You know, especially when you find it, because especially, you know, if you're doing something really nice and you find that mistake or that flaw that's in the job, you really got to go back. And I knew it didn't look quite right, especially on this side right here. Well, the reason it didn't look just right on that side is because when I cut the pattern for this, I put two of them that are just alike on each side. Like this one, I had two that was just alike. And what happened was I put one right here, just like that. Then I come around here and I put another one right here. I didn't catch it when I was sewing it on. But whenever I started putting it on and I started seeing it, I caught it. And I told Wesley, I said, Wesley, man, this ain't right. That just ain't right. So instead of just trying, it was easier for me to just redo it and just cut it off. And that's what I done, was just cut it off and start over. And which it didn't take that long because we already had the patterns right here to just recut it. But this is what it was supposed to look like. Not with this glue on it, where I just laid it down. But whenever this piece was turned backwards, it had this side right here. And my wife looked at it and she said, I noticed it. I said, did you really? She said, yeah, I noticed it. That it wasn't just exactly right. Because when this piece right here is backwards and it was in the front, it jacked that side up. And if you look at the video, you can tell that one of the sides is jacked up. And another thing is it fit better. And when we took it back apart, these push ends right here, I actually glued them in, but whenever I took it back apart, I took a piece of this hard plastic and put some holes in it that the push ends would fit into and stay. And I put these and glued these in place with a little hole in it over the hole that was there. And that right there is what repaired that. And this piece right here, it made it look so much better, even though that's on the underside. But it does have to go down on the seat to where you can't see up under it. So that part right there is going to work out really nice. This one right here turned out really nice, like this one. So the lesson, no matter how good you think you are, you can always make a mistake. And if you catch yourself making one, you need to go back and undo it and try to make it right. Even if you've got to start over. Because I've been doing this a long time and I've redone a lot of things that messed up. especially whenever you're doing something that's trial and error, you know, and you're trying to build something. And I know a bunch of people that's any time that you're a fabricator and you're fabricating something, you can always make that mistake. You know, if this right here is a little long, sticking out here, or if it's too short, you know, you got to kind of have an idea of where you're going to be at. And that's one reason why I made these patterns right here, because I didn't want to cut up my good material that I'm putting on this. This right here was very expensive. This right here is just some scrap pieces. If I mess this up making a pattern, I'm not really out of a whole lot of money. But if I mess this up and then I come short in finishing the job and have to reorder, then I'm gonna have shipping on top of it and the high price of the material. So always, if you're fabricating, it's always easier to fabricate with something that's less expensive, or that you might just gonna throw away anyway. So let that be a tip. That's some of the punch ends, you know, that wouldn't stay in place. I put a little glue on them and stuck them down until it dried, and Wesley sprayed it. But now, when I took it apart and actually fixed it, you could push it in and it stay. So if it were to ever have to be took apart, it could easily be took apart. So this is just a short reminder and a short video of whenever you're building something from scratch, because we still got the old headrests and stuff like that that's laying around here. We didn't take them apart because the patterns, I had looked at the patterns on whenever they were on there, and I knew that I didn't want to use them patterns. I was going to do something a little bit different than what they originally had. So whenever you're building something like this, don't be ashamed to say if you mess up, you can always redo it. So hope everybody has a good weekend. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you next time. Thanks, everybody.